Playing games is a neat experience. Sometimes you want a challenge to overcome, sometimes you want to solve puzzles. You may play games to interact with people, while other times you play them to avoid interacting with anyone at all. Fight Night is a good turn your brain off and laugh for a bit type of game. This game was recommended to me by a fellow streamer, and after watching the trailer on Steam, I wasn't sold at all. However, after completing the whopping 35 minutes of playtime I got out of my playthrough, I have to say, I loved it. Loved every bit of it. Fight Night is a wonderfully bad game that has now set the bar for what I consider to be so bad it becomes good. I'll be rating this game on 4 categories that I think are relevant to what the game is. Difficulty is a great thing to rank a Souls game on, but you wouldn't include it in a review of Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Fight Night's gonna get ranked on story, graphics, gameplay, and fun, each worth 25 points, with up to 5 bonus points at the end based on my personal enjoyment of the game. Let's get into it. Story. Story here is not anything you haven't seen before. You work as a night shift employee at a gas station with a list of tasks to complete before the end of your shift, such as stock shelves or pump gas, with one bonus task of don't let the old man inside the store. As you complete your tasks, you meet a fun cast of characters that range from nice to creepy to completely absurd, and really makes you question what you need to be watching out for. Story elements are delivered by characters you meet, sometimes in a way that makes sense and comes off as mildly well written, and other times in a way that seems lazy as hell. The police officer telling you to watch out because there's been a string of disappearances makes sense. He's a cop and wants you to be safe during your shift. But the vampire exposition dumping the entire behind-the-scenes plot to you at the end came off as lazy. Did make me laugh though, just due to how clunky the dialogue was written. I'm gonna give story a 15 out of 25. Gameplay. As far as gameplay goes, the controls are very simple. Walk around with WASD and interact with objects and people by pressing and or holding E. Use the mouse to aim your character in the direction you want to go, and that's about it. That's all there is to it. There's a spacebar mashing portion that lasts about 2 seconds, and you can crouch with the shift key, but there's no reason to do so, so I almost don't even want to bring it up. This one's gonna get a 13 out of 25. Graphics. I want you to look at this. Just look at this for a second. You look at this and tell me graphics should get anything higher than a 3. Graphics gets a 3. Fun. This is where the game shines. Fight Night isn't meant to be taken seriously, and it wears its whimsy like a badge of honor. From the laughably campy plot to the voice acting that I'm 100% convinced is bad on purpose, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Sometimes I even forgot that what I was playing was supposed to have horror elements, so the couple of jump scares that I did encounter ended up hitting way harder than they should have. This game was a gem from start to finish. To quote one of my chatters from when I streamed this game, Fight Night is a masterpiece in its own niche. I think that pretty much hits the nail on the head. If you like things that are bad on purpose, or things that are so bad they become good, then this game's for you. You want something a little more polished, a little more serious, maybe save your money for another time. I'm giving fun a 20 out of 25. Bonus points. I already talked about my enjoyment of bad media. Fight Night is wonderfully bad and made me laugh quite a bit with just how ridiculous it was. This game transcends the categories of good and bad and crossed into avant-garde territory. It's meant to be this way. At least that's how I think it's meant to be looked at. Who knows, maybe it was accidental. Either way, I'm giving 4 out of 5 bonus points to Fight Night because in my opinion, this game is unappreciated and brilliant, bringing the total score to 55 out of 100. That's gonna wrap things up for this one. If you liked what you saw, definitely like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is you do. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Goodbye!